9:57. Whenever that would come in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Sock Talks with Joy and Sean. Glad to have you here today. As you can see, we're all revved up and ready to go.
We're
Um,
talking steak sauce.
yeah, we're talking steak sauce here. Long
The
story.
A1 or AI.
Yeah. So, anyways, as we were chatting. Oh, geez. Okay. Phone
Take
call.
two.
No.
You have some A1 sauce there?
Yeah. It's the
Just keep it around all I can. So.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to okay. All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Deep breath. We're good. Chart up here. Okay, we're good.
All
All
right. See you next
right.
week.
Yeah, see you next week. So, hey, can you tell that we're grateful for each other? We really appreciate each other. We kind of
Probably I
felt a
appreciate
little
Joy
bit
that
of
maybe she
up and
appreciates me
you know,
sometimes, but
yeah, no, I always appreciate you without a doubt, without a doubt. So hey, on that note, we're everybody is out here doing their thing and following the I don't want to say protocol, but following the process of getting the webinars out there. And Sean and I were talking a little bit earlier, and it's like, how many people are really using the word gratitude movement? Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's the terminology that we've got to get used to doing. And I was very impressed with Sean here a minute ago telling about the summit that you were just asked to be a part of. And I'd love to have, I think everyone would be very interested to hear about that, Sean, and how you tied it together and kept the gratitude movement available to
Yeah, I
people.
got invited to speak at this by somebody from BNI, but they're in Europe somewhere. When he gave me his address, he's in Malta, but I think he's originally from England.
Okay.
And said, we're going to do this Win More Dream Clients Summit. And we did a pre-call, and it was what I thought it was going to be. The ads, the Facebook, the drive people to your webinar or website. All of that kind of stuff we talk about where you
Yeah.
think you're connected. And I thought, okay, how am I going to? So I said, I'm just going to talk about the gratitude movement. And what I did, I was kind of right in the middle of the day. It started with 11, and I think it went to 5. And I just joked like, all right, I'm the unicorn here, um, because I'm going to talk about the gratitude movement using that with your dream clients that you already have. And every business has dream clients, whether
Hmm.
they were very easy to work with, they're loyal, they already pass you some referrals or talk good about you. And how do we turn more of your dream clients into referral sources and build better relationships? And I just use the gratitude movement and cards and gifts after the fact. And what amazes me is how much money is spent on getting customers at every level. The mom and pa, the mid-level, the huge, Nike and Coca-Cola and McDonald's and Walmart and Amazon, they all advertise and they spend millions and millions of dollars.
Hmm.
But after they get that client, what do they do to keep them or make them happy or build better relationships?
Hmm.
With the bigger boys and girls, it's probably a little more difficult. With the, mid clients, the smaller companies that you have a relationship with, it's easier. And if you do love on those clients that you loved working with, they were easy. They probably hang with like-minded people. So continue to build that relationships and just be grateful for them year after year and turn them into referral sources. So I talked, and Mike, we were a little behind, so I kind of condensed it, and then there were all kinds of questions, so I used all my time anyway. And I had someone else attending that's in promptings, but she was there for her business, and we were doing breakout sessions too, and having meeting people. And so she's texting me, "Oh my God, the last 2 breakout sessions, all anybody could talk about was the gratitude movement." And these are people from all over the world. There were people from Europe, there was Canada, USA. So it does that term resonates with people.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when Cody says $1 billion and beyond, baby, if we really all, truly all of us focus on gratitude movement and sharing that with people in the webinar and just the gratitude movement is our true focus. I think we're in line to have the best next 5 or 10 years would be the best we've ever had as a company.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just because kind of hit me when like, man, we got people in you. And as soon as I was talking, there's somebody from, I think he was from Malta. said, "Oh my God." And we ended up in a breakout room and he goes, "I'm like, we need to do a one-to-one." That just really resonated with me, and his whole kind of business on taking your clients and walking them through. And it was kind of the same thing, turning them into, they should be able to talk about your business and then pass it on to you. So I'm excited. I've got like 10 one-to-ones set up with everybody that were speakers over the next, had a couple this week and over the next couple weeks. So
Yeah.
they're not,
So prefacing what you said there, what you're saying, when you spoke to everybody in general,
Mhm.
and you talked about the gratitude movement. Okay. And then when the breakouts happened, those people continued to carry it on and read.
Yeah,
And
I was in it. I was, I was getting messages from from Linda who was in. Oh, okay. You need to follow up with this person because they were going on about this gratitude movement, and and then so it does. I think I just I don't buy into the press on how bad we are separated as people. I think we are more together than we think. If you watch the news, and I don't watch the news, but I think a lot of people do. So when you talk about this and being grateful, and when you're in a grateful state of mind, there is no room for negativity or, and if you're grateful for what you have already, you know, what Cody says, what you appreciate appreciates.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be huge
So
over the next.
how did you start it out, Sean, when you started to speak about it? I mean, you just come
I just
on.
started with,
Go ahead.
we've heard a lot of great speakers this morning. I know we're going to hear more this afternoon, and they're all about doing what you need to do. And I didn't bash it. I mean, we need to do that. We need to spend money on, if you're a business, a web page and Facebook ads if that works for your company. I didn't poo poo on it at all. I'm just saying we spend a lot of money on that, but a lot of times once we get that client, the sales done, we're still looking forward, not paying attention back here. So using the and that's just how I kind of went into
Okay.
it.
That's
And I should,
awesome.
with my business, I use that roofing company that Jordan shared that in 10 years, they have 9,000 clients. All they do is send cards 4 to 5 times a year to them. And that's their marketing. And then that plumbing company that, sent out cards, spent $500 and got $80,000 of business. Who wouldn't want that that's a pretty good ROI.
Hmm.
So shared that and then just kind of shared a couple card stories of my own, and then I said, look, that, and in my the which everybody has to give away. I said, look, I'm gonna put my email address in, send me your name and your full address. I'm gonna send you Cody's book. Obviously you'll get a card with it. And we also have a webinar that will go in much more detail than I'm giving you right now. Just give me a yes and I'll send you that as well. So everybody did that as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, just not, I'm not bashing people spend money on getting customers, but I'm just saying you need to enhance that. So when you get the great customers, you don't want to lose them because it costs money to get
Hmm.
customers
Hmm. Hmm.
and it doesn't cost near as much to keep them.
Right. Right.
So
Right. That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. How
well,
long did you have to speak and say all that?
we had 15 minutes, but I did it in about, because I said we were about 15, 20 minutes behind. I said,
Hmm.
look, I'm going to give you some time back. I can talk about this very quickly. So I was done in probably 7 or 8 minutes, but then the chat, there was questions. Tommy, who invited me, said, all right, no, no, no. I have some questions. So people, what should I say? That the typical,
Okay.
what
I was
should I
gonna say, what
say?
kind of questions did they have?
So how do I get addresses?
Yeah.
Ask. And I did the whole, if you don't think it's an issue, it's not going to be an issue. Just ask your customers for their address. What do I say in the card? And I always say the first card I sent to my clients, the Happy Springtime card, I could have been in any business because I did not talk about mortgages. I just said, I hope you survive winter, have a great spring, have a great summer. If I can help you with anything, let me know. That was it.
Hmm.
So, can we get help? And yeah, we have a VA service. There was that question that'll import all your contacts. They'll make cards for you. You can continue to use them. You don't even have to touch the site if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And then I really talked about the, and I think Cody brought this up, the top of mind cards, the one card to your dad, that's the width. And then the depth is when you become a Facebook stalker or you're mentioning something that
Wow,
you
that's
saw they
good.
did or the kid did. I mean, that's the depth you're going to get. So somebody asked a question, and then I said, look, I became a Facebook stalker, and here's what I do with that. And talked about flat cards with pictures and just a little saying on them. I have one to do right now. Somebody was in Jamaica with their kids, and they posted beautiful pictures. So it's probably going to be a couple cards. So it's just I was talking about that.
Right.
And who does that?
Mhm.
No, if you think your competition's doing that, you're wrong. They're not. Unless we got to them first.
Yeah, yeah.
But that that that's going to make the difference in business, I think, in the next few years. Um, and I saw a video that kind of alluded to that, like the emails and the this, and people want to know that you really care now. Because they can get I can go to Amazon and get most stuff that I can just go instead of the store. But if you sell something and you treat me, Amazon's not going to send me anything or treat me nice or any,
Right, right,
So I
right.
think adding those, kind of touches, the real touches.
Well, and that goes along with the fact of the AI going on right now
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. You don't even know if you're
People
talking to
don't.
a real person.
That's exactly right. You don't know if you're receiving emails from an AI. You don't know if those are personal. So, and I like how you mentioned about the width versus the depth. The width of the cards is your campaign. That's your top of mind. That's where people are going to see your name and all that kind of stuff. But boy, when you get into the depth with the Facebook
Yeah.
stalking, whatever you
Oh,
want to say, or really seeing what's important in people's lives. When you
absolutely.
recognize
And
what's
celebrating that.
important in their life and that you recognize that,
Yeah,
it's huge. You
absolutely.
know, it's really huge, you
There's
know.
a I'm getting emails and it's a car repair place and realtor. And I'm getting the same exact emails from
Those
two
two,
car repair people and three different realtors.
isn't that
Same
crazy?
exact, same day, so they're using the same program.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how are you, I mean, yes, it's easy, but is that really separating you from
Well,
anybody else?
it's your width, it's a depth, it's a
Right.
width,
That's
it's
just,
a touch,
but what are
it's a
you
touch.
doing to drive
Yeah, but
depth?
what are you doing to drive
Yeah,
it down? That's
absolutely.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that is
Gratitude movement, gratitude movement, gratitude movement.
gratitude movement. That is it.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
Congratulations on that. It sounds like it was very productive for you. It sounds like you really, well, however you presented it, whatever you said, obviously touched enough people.
Yeah, and
And
if there's another one, I'll let everybody know. It didn't cost to come, and I mean, I had some great ideas from some of the other people, um, and the couple of people I met. I'm like, man, they're on a different level. The first question I got from one woman was like, "So, what do you plan on doing with your business this year?" I'm like, "Well, you go right to the point. Okay."
that's
and
totally
how and
right.
how do you plan on doing that? I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, I
yeah,
didn't know. It's back in
yeah,
high school.
yeah.
So,
Well,
and it just shows they want to help.
you really gave some good ideas too, because I'm actually doing I was asked to do like a series. It's a series at WVU for the students that they
Oh,
put
nice.
for as they're getting ready to move into the workplace.
Okay,
And so they've done these like series and I'm going to be doing it on gratitude relationships and that type of a
absolutely.
thing. So it's going to be real fun. I think it's going to be, as I'm doing my research to get I want to get some other information in there than my normal presentations that my normal PowerPoint that I have, because I want to see them at their level. They don't see this yet. They don't see the impact of what we know can help a business, because they're not there yet. Some of them might be, but most of them aren't. So I'm real interested. It's going to be fascinating to kind of, draw them into like, this is what you're facing. This is what's going to be happening out here. This is what you can be now, in preparation,
Right.
So,
I'll give you. So I saw, watch a video. The gentleman, name escapes me. He dresses very casual. He's probably almost 50 now. Owns one of his businesses is a private jet company. And he
okay.
said, when you're in your 20s, this is what I did when I was in my 20s. He goes, I'm not telling you not to work. He goes, but I lived in New York City and I got involved in everything I could. I was in three bike clubs. I was in two of these. And he was building his network. And he
network.
goes, I still, with that group in my 20s, that's still the group that I lean on the most when I need something and reach up. So that would be a great, because there is,
Yeah,
what do I
that's
do?
really good. I gotta write
Don't just go to work and go home and turn the TV on. Be in the softball league, be in 2 softball leagues if you play softball. If you're crafty, do 2 or 3 of those. So be involved in as much stuff as you don't watch TV. When you're done with work, that's your job after you're done with work, is being involved in other things to build your base of your network that
that.
will push you until you retire. So I
Right.
thought that was great advice.
Yeah, that is
Great
really
advice.
good. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna implement that in the process of what I'm gonna be talking about. Because, it's gonna be real interesting, because, it's very short, but they also gave me a list of questions
Mhm.
that, because there's gonna be two students on when they actually do the live broadcast. There are gonna be two
Nice.
students on there asking questions as well,
Yep.
after I've done
We'll
my.
have to do one of these after you do your first couple ones, and what's your takeaways of that? So
Yeah, yeah, it'll be real interesting to see how this all works out,
yeah,
but,
perfect.
from a different level. Yeah, yeah, like I say, you're just kind of at a different level with trying to, like, hey, it's like you got, I don't want to say new blood, but you got new kids, you got new people. Yeah, it's like, okay, you're coming out
And
of
they've
the.
got different ideas than we do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Abs- on
exactly.
on
So
what success is, on what I mean, you're going to probably learn from them too.
yeah,
I don't I don't know that I want to work somewhere for 40 years and then get my gold watch.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
okay, here's the kicker. There isn't anything like that anymore.
yeah. I was gonna say.
Most times. I mean, there are, but
It's gone.
you
I
know.
heard I was talking about the other day, and they said, I know, was when I went to get my car taken care of today, and the guy got to talking about, they scheduled me an appointment, but the guy wasn't there today because they gave it off for his birthday, and he says, when do companies give their
That's
employees
awesome.
off
I
for
mean,
birthdays?
little touches like that.
That's like an old school, and I said, yeah,
Yeah.
it's kinda
Yeah.
nice. It's
Maybe
kind
we'll
of.
get back to that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I said, yeah, because that's of course, and then he laughed. He said, and I just scheduled the appointment like yesterday. So it's
Gotcha.
kind of like
Yeah.
there, and there was
Yeah.
like a little gap in who knew what,
Yeah. There we go. No worries.
so it's like
Yeah, he
crazy.
booked up today.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So we kind of went on this tangent about what kids expect today, and what
Right.
they, versus what they used to be, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, but anyway.
Alrighty. So
All right.
gratitude
Well,
movement. If you're
listen.
not using that, share it, share it, share it. Put it in stuff that you're posting on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Talk about it. People will gravitate to it. I promise.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, you're a perfect example of
yep.
what you just experienced.
Yeah.
So
So I thought it was pretty cool.
congratulations, and hey, let's go get them. We'll see
Yep.
everybody. I'm
Have a good
grateful.
weekend.
John.